Hello, and happy Christmas to all who are watching. And if you're not watching, well, how is this working? How many fingers have I got holding up? See? I knew you were watching. So cool it with the funny business. I do not tolerate any shifty people in my kitchen. So hello, I'm Gladys Swillwell, and welcome to Generously Sauced. It's holiday times again, and holidays have been happening since the beginning of when holidays were invented. And you know by who, don't you? And from our earliest memories of holidays, there is one Christmas dessert that rises to the top. It is the standard by which all other Christmas confections are judged. Yes, that's right. It's Christmas pudding. It's also known as Christmas pudding and plum pudding, and here in America you might know it as figgy pudding. I just call it, hey, give me another piece of that sweet stuff, Aunt Matilda. Oh, Aunt Matilda is dead. And we all miss Matilda, but now there's nobody watching over how many slices of figgy pudding I take while she silently grumbles. So I think the whole family is better off. Well, Christmas pudding is a real showstopper, too, because traditionally it serves set aflame by lighting dousings of brandy atop the dessert. And mark my words, that's the only flaming figgy I'll allow to set foot in my house. You're on thin ice, Bruce. My hairdresser, Bruce. Well, Christmas pudding is a magical miasma of ingredients, and with one bite you may never be able to guess what tastings and treats are within, because it's full of a bunch of shit in there. Now, what you'll need is a trough of milked breadcrumbs, 1 flowers, a thing of brownish sugar, and a pluff of December spices. Well, those are the spices that you put in everything you cook during the month of December. And if you don't know the spices that I'm talking about, well, honey, you better learn to type real good because you're way behind the starting line at this point. You'll also need a 1/2 pound of beef suet, which is the fat of a beef. But don't worry if you don't have the suet separated. You can put in any part of the cow, and the suet will just jostle its way out of there and into the mixture, like a homing pigeon. And now for the fun stuff, the dried fruits. And you know what I always say? The only good fruit is a dried fruit. I'm watching you, Bruce. We got raisins and currants and some mummified apricots and a memory of a fig. You know, curiously, Christmas plum pudding doesn't have any plums in it. No, that was a trick by the English soldiers under King George to confuse our continental army and weaken morale. But General George Washington wasn't having any of that psychological warfare, and he said, "Up your goose with a musket," and now we have Connecticut. But what really brings the figgy pudding, Christmas pudding of puddings together are the liquids. Yes, well, some people loosen their figgy bows by adding some brandy, which is lovely, but others traditionally put in some rum. Still others opt for some cognac or some Kentucky whiskey or some whiskey from Kentucky. But since we don't know who we're going to be serving this Christmas pudding to, we might as well use all of them. Well, mix well and then put it in the wettest bunch you got and let it steam for 4 hours, which is the perfect time to drink the lowest point of the brandy. Now, that's the brandy that's closest to the bottom of the bottle. And it's the most flavorful, you know, and you deserve it, brandy. And there you have it, a Christmas plum figgy pudding. But the final step is to take what last brandy you have, set it on fire, and then pour it over the dessert. It takes a steady hand and a wind of steel as we ignite the delight and say, Happy Holidays!